Hi, my name's Dave. I'm a flame trooper with the First Order. Well, I was a flame trooper with the First Order. Apparently, I was so good at burning down villages and killing innocent people with my raging fire that Snoke chose to promote me. I'm now the new personal assistant of Kylo Ren, his apprentice. Now, I haven't met Kylo Ren. I've just heard stories from other guys, none of them good. Apparently, he's kind of reactionary, but who knows? Alright, well, it's pretty fucking cold outside. He was supposed to meet me here a half hour ago. Really worried I'm getting punked or something. This is bad. I'm in a suit, damn it. I'm gonna go to that building over there, see what's going on. Hey, Kylo! Hey, in here, man? Kylo! Yo! Is this a garage? What the hell?
Here I am.
Oh, hey, man. Nice to meet you. Let me get over there real quick.
And who are you?
My name's Dave. I'm your new personal assistant. I'm not really sure what I'm here for. I was a flame trooper, but they told me I had to wear a suit. I've never put a tie on before. Sorry if it doesn't look that great. What's going on?
I don't care who Snoke thinks he is. And I don't care who this Dave individual may be. I am an experienced Sith Lord. After all, I'm an award-winning javelin hunter on Jakku. All you white troopers look the same to me, and I don't need an assistant, Dave.
Well, I don't know, man. Snoke said you needed help. He said you're conflicted, you lack focus. I guess you're having some kind of issue, something with your dad that you can't get over?
My dad?
Come on, you goddamn stick. Get in my hands.
Wait, did you just use the Force to get a stick? A stick? Jesus, man. What's wrong with you? You need some help or something. Like, you need to go see a therapist. You clearly have repressed emotions because of a lack of a father figure in your life.
I don't know how I feel about Dave. I am impressed with his caliber, though. He isn't dead yet. He will be. It's almost the word infuriating to be around someone so insubordinate as him.
You did not talk about my dad! Only I talk about my dad! You don't know my dad! He is my dad! My dad!
Dude, calm the fuck down, man, alright? I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. What am I supposed to do, paperwork or some shit? And why are we in a garage? You're like second in command in the First Order, and we're meeting in a goddamn garage. I mean, are you really Kylo Ren?
This is an official First Order Starship resupply facility located on planet Terra. Or it's just a garage.
Mediocrity!
So Dave, you ball?
What, is he retarded? He keeps using the Force to pick up nothing that makes any sense. A stick and a basketball. I mean, people told me this guy was bad, but he's a child. He's a kid in a Halloween costume. I hate this guy. This is the worst first day of work I've ever had. And I used to burn things for a living. That ball's deflated. Just like your ego.
God damn it! Oh, fuck!
After Kylo stormed out, I don't know. I just felt kind of bad. I went outside to go look for him. I didn't see him at first. But then, I saw him. I really saw him. He didn't have his mask on. And I didn't see an angry child. I didn't see a man that was raging against the galaxy, trying to prove himself. I saw someone that was scared, who missed their dad and their mom. Maybe they just needed a friend. And then I thought to myself, you know, I'm pretty scared too. So I went up to Kylo, and I wanted to let him know that everything was going to be alright. maybe I needed a friend too. I'd spent so much time starting fires, but maybe my new job was putting a fire out. Maybe that's why Snoke sent me here. I just know that things with Kylo were never really the same after that day. We were more friendly. It was like we knew each other for a long time. He started to get more personal with me, and we'd hang out together. Kind of guy you'd have a beer with. So, things aren't so bad.
Dave brought up some points about my past. Made me really think about myself. I miss my mom. I miss my dad. I miss Uncle Chews. I gotta go.
So, where do I go? I don't know where I'm supposed to go. We're just at this house now. I'm confused. Hey guys, Dave here. So I'm gonna go hang out with my buddy Kylo today, but I feel a little weird about it because Snoke wants me to turn in a status report. I have to tell him what I think about Kylo right now, how he's acting. Now, I'm uncomfortable with this because it feels like I'm spying on a friend. I know technically I work for Snoke, but it just isn't cool. Kylo wants me to come over so we can make something. I'm not sure what it is, but I guess we'll see.
Who is it?
Oh, hey man, what's going on? You invited me over here today to make something? I'm not really sure what that means. Sorry I didn't wear the suit today. I kind of went with something a little bit more casual, if you know what I mean.
We're making brunch, Dave.
Dude, why did you just do that? Alright? You're messy, you're irresponsible, and you're scaring me.
I'm sorry. I get really excited when making brunch, like I used to with my Uncle Luke back when I was a youngling. I'm really excited to be making brunch with Dave.
Hey man, can I help with something? I feel a little weird just standing around like this, and I'm kind of worried about you talking about your Uncle Luke. It's almost like you had some bad experience with him that directly relates with you joining the First Order and turning to the dark side. And I'm really scared that you're holding some repressed memory about this that you can't let go. But I am just projecting here.
Oh, Uncle Luke. Those were the days. Dave, if you really want to help, can you grab me that thing over there?
I can't reach it. I'm sorry.
Fine.
What kind of bacon is that?
It's turkey bacon, Dave. It's better for you than regular bacon. You need to eat for fuel and not pleasure. It's why you guys can't aim.
Hey man, how am I supposed to eat this with my helmet on?
Speak for yourself, Dave.
Hey, that guy you were talking about, your Uncle Luke or whatever?
Yeah?
It feels like you're holding a lot on the inside that you're not telling me. You know, like how you kind of told me about your father? I mean, I want you to know that we're friends and you could be upfront with me. Did he betray you or something? I'm not really sure what's going on. I mean, I'm not trying to push or anything like that, but I am your friend, Kylo.
How's your bacon, Dave?
Well, I can't taste it.
Oh, my Uncle Luke. He was my hero, you know. He trained me in the ways of the Force. But one night he came into my tent, holding a long, hard object in his hands, and looking down on me with cold, empty eyes, tried to strike me. After that, my world crumbled, and we were never close again. Dave, you fool.
Ah! Now, I don't have anything against breakfast food, or this concept of brunch that's very foreign to me. But it got pretty emotional there, Kylo opening up to me. It's like he was using the food as some way to bond so we could get a little closer. He's really a deep guy when you get to know him. Hey dude, I think I know where this is going. I mean, you don't have to spell it out for me. Your uncle comes into your tent with a phallic object in his hands. I mean, it sort of reminds me of my Uncle Ernie. But I want you to know, man, I'm here for you, and I'll always be here for you. And I'm not working for Snoke. I'm your assistant.
I'm very impressed with Dave's performance today on making brunch with me. He touched me on a whole other level, just like my Uncle Luke did when we started training. I think it's time to go to the next level with Dave. Uncle Luke, I can't believe what you done to me.
Hey dude, you gotta get over that shit, alright? Kill your idols, man. The more you build up heroes like that, they're just gonna disappoint you. That's one of the hard parts about growing up. Your heart dies. I mean, I don't know what happened to your Uncle Luke. He's probably a hermit on some island or something, but I'm just guessing here. But I have to tell you something. Snoke wants me to turn in a status report.
Status report?
Yeah. He wants me to tell him what I think about your behavior and that. And we're buddies. I don't want to do that, so I was thinking maybe we could write it together. You have a say.
Okay.
Hey, so I got it almost done. You check it soon.
You know, Dave, I don't like your patronizing attitude and always trying to give me advice.
I mean, I'm your assistant. That's what I'm here to do, to assist.
Yes, assist me. Don't aid me and act like my therapist.
I mean, dude, I'm sorry that your uncle molested you,
What?
okay?
My uncle didn't molest me. Ew, that's gross.
I mean, you said he came into a tent and he was holding something in his hand.
Yeah,
I
a
got it.
lightsaber. He was going to kill me, so I took my lightsaber out and we clashed.
Yeah, lightsabers. Yeah, I get it.
Ugh!
Dude, it's cool, alright? You know, like, uncles do that stuff sometimes, you know? You pulled your dick out because you were intimidated
He tried
by
to destroy me because I was an ultimate power in the Force.
Yeah. Dude, it's cool, alright? Like, alright, we gotta get this to Snoke. I know where you're getting so pissy.
You're not listening to me, Dave.
That's all I do is listen to you.
My uncle did not molest me. You know what, Dave? Someone's gonna put you in your place. That's it. It's time for you to see the true power of the Force.
Alright, Kylo. 2 moves. 1, you swing. 2nd, you hit the fucking floor. Kylo, Jesus, man, I'm really sorry. Here, come on, it's gonna be all right.
You don't understand, Dave. Ew. You don't understand. My mom, Luke, my chest hurts. You don't know what it's like to be weak.
You know what, Kylo? You're right. I don't understand. I don't know what happened with your family, or with your Uncle Luke, or what you're going through. But it sounds like all those people, they forgot about you, man. But I'll make a promise to you right now, as your friend. I won't forget about you. And damn it, don't you forget about me. Dear Snoke, I accept the fact that I had to sacrifice a whole Saturday making brunch for whatever it is I did wrong. But I think you're crazy to make me turn in a status report telling you who I think he is. You see Kylo as you want to see him. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions, what I found out is that both of us are a flame trooper,
A forgotten nephew.
a lost uncle,
A Jedi Knight.
a ripoff of a famous 80s movie.
Does that answer your question?
Sincerely yours, The Brunch Club.
So where have you been, Dave? I've missed you.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, man. I've been really busy. Snoke's been having me do a lot of grunt work. It's been a real pain in my ass. So, last time we were hanging out, it seemed like you were making a lot of progress with the stuff in your life. How's it been going with that?
Well, Dave, now that you mention it, I haven't been doing too well lately. I've been questioning my place in this world, and it seems as if the Force has turned its back on me. Dave, how do you do it? How do you manage to stay so down to Earth? Or whatever planet you're on, because the Force has led me to nothing but destruction. How do you manage to stay so cool?
Well, if you must know, Kylo, I've actually never followed the Force. I have my own religion, and how can you really prove that the Force is real? I've always been a little bit skeptical of it myself.
Actually, yes, I can, Dave. There's been thousands of people who've done it before, and I've proven it to you myself. I've moved shit with my fucking mind.
No, I get it. The mind trick, the Force, the moving stuff, the lightsaber, the flipping and all that. But how do you know that's the Force? That's just some arbitrary name that you gave to it. See, I believe that the Force is because of my religion.
Who do you think you are, Dave? How could you, one flame trooper, challenge the 1,000 years of Force mythology that has been proven by physical evidence with other Jedi and Sith Lords? I don't know who you think you are, but your bizarre perspective does not put the nail on the head of this situation, Dave. You need to explain yourself to me. What do you believe?
Well, actually, I'm really glad that you asked that, because I've been wanting to talk to you about that for a long time, but I wasn't sure if you were comfortable enough with me to discuss this, because I actually have some literature with me about this very thing, so let me get it out for you and we can discuss it. It's called the Book of Mormon. It was written by a guy named Joseph Smith, and I believe he is the one that is behind this so-called Force.
Look, Dave, I don't like what you said, but I goddamn respect you for saying it. Show me your pitch. Tell me of this Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormonism.
Now, I know this is all really complex and confusing, and it's really tough for you to understand, but all of the answers are in here, man. This is the Book of Mormon. This is the first and last word on everything in the universe. Now, do you know about the Bible? You know that book that Christians had that was based off Judaism, and it's got a bit of paganism in there, and it was really popular for a long time? Well, there was the first part of the Bible. That was the Old Testament. Let's call that the New Hope. Then, there was the New Testament, the second half of the Bible. Let's call that God Strikes Back, if you will. Now, this is the third part in the trilogy. This is the book that I like to call The Return of Jesus. Now, this book was written by Joseph Smith. He found a bunch of golden tabs that were left by Jesus in the United States of America. That's a place from a long time ago that was really, really far away. Now, in America, Jews sailed there on boats to bring these tabs to Joseph to tell him the story of Jesus in the United States. It turns out Jesus has a planet called Kolob. Kolob is his planet, and he leaves this text for us to go spread the word, and only a few of us can get into the afterlife. But if you do get in the afterlife, you get your own planet. Now, your own planet is filled with the things you love. Your planet would be filled with your mother, your father, your Uncle Chewy, whatever hobby you're into. My planet would have curling on it, because I love curling, and it's a really underrated sport, by the way. I don't think people appreciate it enough. Now, a lot of people didn't believe Joseph Smith. They said he was a con artist, a charlatan that was just trying to release this book to control the masses and control the way that people think. Now, I don't know anybody would want to do that. I find that notion pretty ridiculous myself. And Joseph Smith was a good man. See, my belief is that Joseph Smith was the first Jedi and created the Force, which he learned from angels and Jesus. Now, you may not believe that, but the cool thing about this book is that there's something in here for everyone. I mean, it's the third part of the original trilogy, and I really think the original trilogy is the only one that matters. I don't like any other trilogy, one that comes before or after this, because the original trilogy is the only one that has the sacred text and mythology that I care about, and when people try to add things to it, it makes me very, very angry, Kylo. So I'm going to give this to you, and just tell me what you think about it. Like I said, there's something in here for everyone. Even you, my friend.
Lamanite aggression spread the seed of the priest of Noah. Perish as Abinadi prophesied. Many Lamanites are converted and join the people of Anti-Nephi-Lehi. They believe in Christ and keep the law of Moses. And behold, now it came to pass that those Lamanites were more angry because they had slain their brethren. Therefore they swore vengeance upon the Nephites, and they did no more attempt to slay the people.
Hey man, so what do you think of it? Is it convincing you to see things more my way?
Dave, you're my friend, so I'm going to be honest with you. This is the most ridiculous piece of asinine bullshit that I've ever peered through in my entire life. It is blasphemous and wrong.
Oh, you hit me in the dick! Oh my god, oh!
What, Dave? Should I use the power of the Force to raise you back up? Oh wait, you don't believe in the Force, do you, Dave? Why don't you call upon your Joseph Smith to help you?
You know what, Kylo? That's it. I'm sick of your lengthy body and odd shape. I'm gonna kick your ass, man.
Ha, kick my ass? That's cute, Dave. I am a Sith Lord in the First Order under Snoke. I am a master of the Force, which you don't believe in. You're a flame trooper, but where's your flamethrower? Is it in your pocket, or is it in that book of lies, Dave? Where are you going, Dave? What is he doing? Oh, a golf club, Dave. The true weapon of the Jedi, the lightsaber, can cut right through that.
What the fuck are you talking about, man? You never even carry a lightsaber with you. I'm gonna beat your head in with this thing.
You're right, Dave. I don't have a lightsaber, but I do have this.
The horror. I don't know what happened. I thought me and Kylo were friends. I can't even remember why we began fighting. It had something to do with the Book of Mormon and Kylo being angry that I didn't believe in the Force. I guess this is my fault. I should have been more accepting of his way of life. But I just don't think he understands my point of view. That there's more to life than just these rules that they tell us that we must live by. That there's a true prophet out there, the original Jedi, Joseph Smith. Me and Kylo were in a furious battle, him with his nunchucks, and me with a golf club. Things were getting pretty rough, and I was worried that maybe he would overpower me. But luckily, I started kicking him like an asshole. I was able to get away later on, but we're not there yet, and I was hiding. See, I made a few mistakes in my calculations thinking about the fight. I had figured that I would be able to fight Kylo with weapon versus weapon. See who the strongest man was. You know, who had the biggest balls and all that. What I didn't factor in is that Kylo does have a lot of training from Snoke in the First Order. All I knew how to do was use a flamethrower. Beyond that, nunchucks really hurt when you get hit with them. Now, Another thing I didn't factor in was that Kylo does have some powers. And the problem is, when someone has powers and you don't, that can really fuck you up. Needless to say, Kylo used his force push to bounce me around like a goddamn pinball. I was overwhelmed by his superhuman strength. Well, that or whatever magic voodoo he had. So I ran off somewhere where I could be safe. Once again, we're not there yet. And I came up with my master plan to catch him off guard. Kylo uses his evil devil magic. I use my brain. I lost my helmet somewhere in the battle, and I was getting really worried because it was hard. It was hard to run away. I just wanted to talk to him and apologize. Maybe figure this whole thing out. But we were past that point. Kylo was coming at me like Jason Voorhees. So I ran. That's all I knew to do. Using some of my training that I learned when I was a flame trooper, I used the good old throw a rock to distract them trick. It works every time, and of course Kylo fell for it. And then I walked over to the side of the wall, scared, alone, thinking about what I had done. How did I get here? Was this my fault? Now we're back to the point where everything's going on. You see, I was using flashbacks to tell a story. It's a really clever narrative device. Maybe you weren't catching on to that. In a panic, I grabbed the only thing I could believe in anymore. The book that carried me through all of my struggles in life. And in that moment, I believed in Joseph Smith. And I would defeat Kylo's so-called force with my religion, my God. He tried to force choke me, but I bitch slapped him like the punk-ass bitch he is. I knew there was only one thing left to do. To destroy the identity of Kylo Ren and bring out the true soul within. If I was going to convert this guy, I had to get dirty and bring out the Ben Solo that was underneath. It was in that moment of defeat, when everything he fought so hard for had fallen before him, that I was able to make him see with absolute clarity what I was trying to tell him this whole time. He finally understood. Kylo, well, Ben, through my ass kickery.
Hello? Hi, I'm Elder Ben. And did you know that Jesus came to America? Yes, I know you're wondering, and I am from the Church of Latter-day Saints, and this is the Book of Mormon.
The life of the flame trooper is tough. It's not easy as some people seem to think. You work hard, going around to villages, burning things down, having to clean your flamethrower, report in. You try to take up other lines of work just to make a living. For a while, I became an assistant of someone, and it was a pretty good job. I spent my days hanging out with what some people consider to be a man-child and tried to get into his mind and understand him a little bit better. Today I had to be up at 10 in the morning to make some important phone calls. I've been trying to get work. It's been a little rough the last few months for me ever since I lost that job. Then I'd gone to the stationery store to buy some envelopes. Then to the Xerox shop. There just were dozens of things to do. By 5 o'clock, I'd finally made it to the post office and mailed off several copies of my resume. I checked with my answering machine all day, hoping to get a call back from somebody, but nothing. I went back to the place where I grew up, and I don't know, when I was 10 years old, I was rich. You know, my family had a lot of money. I rode around in taxis, surrounded by comfort, and all I thought about was art and music. Now I'm 28, and all I think about is money. What I was dreading about this evening was that I was going to be meeting an old acquaintance, my old boss, Kylo, or Ben, who I hadn't seen in a long time, and I had heard that he kind of lost his mind or something. People told me that he was telling them crazy stories about teddy bears that talked in the woods. I'd been trying to avoid him, actually, and I felt bad about this, but I got guilted into going to dinner with him this evening. It was clear to me that something really terrible had to have happened to Kylo, and I guess I was curious about what this was, but I had my own problems right now. I couldn't deal with his stuff. When I got there, he was already at the table and waved me over, and I gotta say it was actually kind of nice to see him again. He looked good.
Kylo, how you been, man? Jesus, I haven't seen you in about forever since that whole, Mormon thing that happened between us, but, you look good. You look healthy and happy.
Well, Dave, I've been pretty good. For the past couple months, I've kind of been around and about, discovering myself. And ever since our little clash with Mormonism, it really set me on a different path. How you been? You look great. Have you still working for Snoke? Going back to being a flame trooper?
Actually, things haven't been that great for me. I moved in with someone recently, and we haven't had a lot of money. Being your assistant was a pretty lucrative thing, and Snoke wouldn't give me my old job back. I guess there's too many flame troopers now in the First Order. I just felt like I kind of lost my mojo after we quit hanging out. I'm not blaming you or anything like that. Something's been off with me, Kylo, and I can't quite figure out what it is, but I've heard crazy stories about you. I mean, I gotta say, I was a little hesitant to come see you again, but just tell me what's going on. Tell me one of these stories, about yourself and these journeys you've been on. I've heard you've been all over the galaxy.
I'm glad you asked that, Dave, because I've been wanting to share this with someone who understands me. Part of me got really tired with work, you see, being a part of the First Order, and I just woke up one day and realized that slaughtering people wasn't enough anymore. I took a long vacation. Snoke wasn't happy, but I tried to find purpose elsewhere, and I guess he understands. Each planet, though, that I went to in this galaxy just left me emptier than the last. I heard about some retreat for people who were looking for what I did, and it was on a small planet called Endor. Don't know if you heard of it. And it's filled with these teddy bear-like creatures called Ewoks. Hundreds of people came to Endor for these rituals, and they were quite interesting, Dave. I would sing songs that I didn't understand and eat food that I never tasted. I began speaking to the Ewoks in their own language, and it was like speaking tongues in a church or something. Eventually, the Ewoks had come to think of me as their new god. I would dance around the fire, and they would call me Gabagoo, and that means tall god man in Ewok-ish. Like, Ewok-ish, yeah. Well, anyway, they would pick me up, and they carried me over to this cliff, Dave. And on this cliff, there's this majestic, beautiful waterfall that only divine inspiration could have crafted. And they took me and just threw me over that waterfall. And Dave, when I came up out of that water, I was a new man. I was baptized in the pure waters of Endor. I found my way back. I began throwing an Ewok back and forth with someone else who was there for the same reasons I was. And it was like we were children, Dave. We were children. And we didn't worry about anyone else, or what they were thinking, or what they looked at us, or how we were acting. They didn't care about our performance. We did this for days on end, Dave. Strangers became lovers. And even I, Dave, found myself lying with a few Ewoks. But like all good things, Dave, it had to come to an end. I missed the rains down in Endor.
That's either the worst or best story I've ever heard in my entire life. But I can't deny it either way. That was fascinating. I mean, these little teddy bear creatures worshipped you like you were a god? It'd be hard not to become narcissistic with something like that. But I gotta say, dude, I'm a little skeptical of this. Do you really believe that these Ewoks found some kind of spiritual enlightenment that you couldn't find yourself? That there wasn't some placebo effect going on? I mean, you sound like a crazy person.
You see, Dave, I used to be like you too. I was very skeptical of this stuff. I mean, I get it, Ewoks throwing me off a waterfall. But Dave, do you really think technology has made anyone's life better? Easier, yes, Dave, but are they really happy? No, they're not. They're bored. They're living in prisons that they have constructed of their own design. You see what I mean, Dave?
No, I agree with you, Kylo. I understand what you're saying. Science, technology hasn't made any of us happier, and I agree that we're bored, that we don't really know what to do with ourselves anymore, but I enjoy the little things in life, okay? I like getting up and having my cup of coffee. I think sometimes that cup of coffee is just the best part of my day. I think that's just a wonderful thing that I can have that cup of coffee. And, and I think about, cleaning my flamethrower and how that just, there couldn't be anything better than me doing that. I think that I enjoy the simple things. I think that you don't need to go have some crazy life-changing experience to enjoy life. I think there's distractions, and that's just kind of what it is until you die. You eventually die, and there's nothing you can do about it, but you find things, sex or music or anything that can help you not focus on those things for a little while. You have to find your thing.
Dave, you're making fun of me. I know you are, but that's okay. I know you mean well. Look, you're not human. You're not living a human life. In order to be human, you need to do ridiculous stuff. You need to break out of this status quo that's just put on your plate right before you. It's like you're living in a fascist nightmare, and you have to tap into your spiritual side. I did, and I'm happier now. I feel human. And honestly, Dave, again, I know you mean well, but you don't have a say on my subjective experience.
Well, it just sounds like to me that you're telling me that I have to do something, that I have to do something crazy out of my own head to feel anything, to feel alive anymore. And I just think that's ridiculous. I don't think that makes any sense, Kylo. I think I understand what you're saying, but I really don't understand what you're saying. I think buying into all these ideas that are gonna give you some fulfillment or answers to the things that you're scared of aren't really gonna give you an answer to anything. I know that you have a lot of pain. We all have a lot of pain, but you can't buy into the superstition. You can't buy into the things that aren't real. If you put a group of things together, these circumstances or mysteries or questions, and you could come through some kind of, I don't know, scientific reasoning or outcome that gives you some kind of answer, maybe life could have more meaning. But life doesn't have more meaning just because you get for a split second euphoric feeling that perhaps it does. Really, what do the Ewoks know? What do these beings across the universe know? What does Snoke know when he teaches you something with the Force, or when you feel like because you can move something with your mind, that means you're not going to die someday, and it's not going to all be meaningless and nothing. You're not going to be in this blackness. You'll be unconscious. You're going to be sleeping. It's a long dream. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand why you think these things matter so much. I get scared of things too. I remember one time I went out with my flamethrower, and and it wasn't working right, and there was these people charging at me. They were going to kill me. And my flamethrower wouldn't start, and I thought, I'm going to die. And for a few seconds I thought maybe I need to come to terms with a few things. Maybe I need to accept the more of things. Maybe I've been looking at things in a very banal way, but then my flamethrower turned on, and then I burned them. I killed them. I saw them die before me, and it was children and older people, and I was just murdering them, and I thought, is this wrong? Is this wrong? This morally? Is this for being objective? Am I doing a wrong thing here? But really, I accept it's a cycle of life. You step on the roach, and you don't think that what you're doing is wrong because it's a roach. It doesn't matter to you. But when you put something that you think is equivalent to yourself, then all of a sudden it's something bad. Well, what is good or bad, Kylo? I don't know. I don't know what it means anymore because, well, really, it's just
It's just opinion, and it might be subjective, but there are objective rules. In the galaxy, there are objective facts. Some things are real. And just because you think because you felt something, or because you saw something, or because you recall to God that makes things that aren't real, that doesn't make them real.
Calm down, Dave, and listen. Listen to what I'm saying. You only had to do the things you had to do because you're an actor in a play of your own construction. We all have titles. Flame Trooper, Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, Padawan, Jedi Knight. But we're all just ghosts, phantoms. I haven't seen my mother and father in years. What does that mean, Dave? For you to be a flame trooper. Only one day, with parents holding hands, going to work. Now they're older and alone. Where's their son? Where's their son, Dave?
We stayed there that night and talked for hours and hours about everything that we could remember about our past and our friendship together and where we were now and where we were going. When we got the bill, Kylo paid for our dinner. I treated myself to a taxi. I rode home through the city streets that I had grown up on. There wasn't a street, there wasn't a building that wasn't connected to some memory in my mind. There, I was buying my first flamethrower with my father. There, I was having some blue milk with friends after school. When I finally came in, my roommate was home from work, and I told him everything about my dinner with Kylo.
Things with Kylo had been going really great lately. I mean, better than I ever thought they could be. We were hanging out every day. It was just like when we first met. I mean, we couldn't have been separated. We were like Laverne and Shirley or something. Every day was like a new adventure with who I consider now to be the greatest friend I would ever have. The sad part is that I knew, like most good things in life, eventually this would have to come to an end. Days became weeks, weeks became months, and before I knew it, so much time had gone by that, I don't know, it was like it was forever. Anyway, there was a knock at the door one day when we were hanging out, and, just bullshitting, and I got a letter directly from Snoke. Now, I hadn't heard from Snoke in a long time, so this worried me, because every time you got a letter from Snoke, it was not good news. I went over to the table and told Kylo about this. I thought maybe he should look at it first, being, kind of the official guy. He hadn't kept communication with Snoke in a while, so I figured the letter was about him anyway, Snoke berating him for not keeping in contact and not going out anymore on missions. Kylo couldn't really understand the letter, so he gave it to me to read. Then I saw the horrifying news. We had both been ordered to come back to work. Kylo to go on missions again, and put on his uniform, and me to become a flame trooper again. The letter also said that we were not allowed to keep contact with each other ever again, and that if we talked to each other after 24 hours, we would both be sentenced to death. Needless to say, this was about the worst information we could get. Kylo walked off very upset, and I understood. I'm not really sure what he was doing, but I gotta imagine it was pretty painful for him. Me, on the other hand, well, I guess I saw this coming. Of course I was gonna have to be a flame trooper again. There was no way that Snoke was gonna let me stay as a personal assistant and just kinda have a vacation with Kylo. But this felt cruel. I had wondered if Snoke sent me here on purpose, not to help Kylo Ren, as he originally said, but as a way to torture him. I think he knew that we would become friends. In fact, I think this whole thing was manipulated somehow. That I was supposed to make Kylo open up in ways that he never had before. And then Snoke was just going to tear me away
and turn Kylo into his weapon. A brutal killing machine that has nothing left. He already had been abandoned by his parents, his uncle, and now Snoke was going to do this? Send away his only friend?
I didn't want to have to do this, but it's the only way to save Dave. My future doesn't matter. This is nothing that I'd put past Snoke. Classic manipulation and tactics to keep me in line. Give me a moment of bliss and take it away. It sucks that I have to leave now. And I know Snoke intends to use that to manipulate me to become powerful in the Force. Something that I question to this day now.
Dude, this blows. I mean, I really can't emphasize this enough how upsetting this is. I was really getting used to this, like, casual assistant thing. I mean, Kylo made me do no work. I mean, zip. I mean, occasionally I would bring him a coffee or something, but he was the best boss I ever had. Now I gotta go back working for Snoke and the asshole who runs the Flame Troopers. I gotta go work for Phasma? Jesus Christ, it's a dictatorship over there. This is easily the worst day of my life.
It's crippling inside me, what's going on. I sense this coming, and I know I only have a couple hours left with Dave. I feel it's just best that we act as if this didn't happen to begin with, and try to enjoy our last few hours together.
I think Kylo was feeling the same way I did, that we can't sit around all day just feeling sorry for ourselves. You know, sometimes it's best to appreciate what you get to have instead of thinking about what you lost. I'd rather have Kylo as a friend for the time that I had instead of not having him as a friend at all.
Dave, is this heaven?
No, it's Pennsylvania.
Oh, I thought it was heaven.
Kylo, I gotta ask, man. Is there a heaven? I mean, is it real? Or is it just something we make up?
Oh yeah, it's the place where all your dreams come true.
Well, maybe this is heaven.
Well, Dave, it's time for me to go. Goodbye.
Hey, Kylo, wait.
Yeah?
You want to have a catch?
I sure do, Dave.
Well, I'm back to where I started. A flame trooper, burning down villages with my raging fire. We were sent on a mission to a planet called Jakku. I guess we were looking for a map that could lead you to Luke Skywalker?
I didn't know where Dave was, but I didn't have time to think about that now. I have a mission. I never thought that I can feel anything again. But then, I found friendship, but that was taken away. And all I know now is vengeance and hatred. As far as I see it now, none shall get in my way. I'll kill my father, my mother, my Uncle Luke. I'll even kill Snoke if he stands before me. I am Kylo Ren.